The Crash Course Podcast is brought to you in part by DerbyParts.com, Smashmasters, Derby Parts, Derby Inc. Magazine, Live It, Breathe It, Be It, Derby Inc. The 2014 Bachelor Cat, May 24th and 25th, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. And the Keystone Nationals, a Bo Lockwood Motorsports production, July 19th at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds in Brookville, Pennsylvania. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby Podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening, good day. Welcome to Crash Course episode number 26. Got a busy night on deck. Everybody's having a ball of laughs here. Get up and running. Josh Decker's here in studio.
Stole Brian's seat, by the way.
Yeah, look, there it is. You can see the seat in the background. Steve Bucknam hanging out with us on Skype. Steve, welcome.
Hello. And, thanks for having me.
And we got Ben and Brian. We got Chad Markley coming up here pretty quick. But first we want to get a hold of Jason Butts just to find out exactly what he's thinking. When, no, maybe not.
Butsy.
Answer your phone, Josh.
I
Josh.
wish if me, I'd answer my phone.
I heard some guys don't answer their phones when they're called, only if messages are left.
that would be a jerk.
I don't know.
I was just checking. Hey, I've been wanting to ask you something.
Yeah.
Since we went to Minnesota.
Ooh.
And Ben can chime on this too because he's been to a lot more bigger shows than us. What do you think about the fact that at all the big shows, guys are wearing more safety equipment? They're wearing gloves, fire retardant suits, stuff like that. Isn't that something you'd like to see move back this way?
Not really. At Sam Williams shows, I think it's mandatory that you have a jacket.
Yep.
And I get that. I think at that higher caliber, I can understand it. There's just a lot more action going on. But I don't know. I still run in shorts and T-shirt a lot. I mean,
that's probably not the smartest thing.
I know John King always yells about it, but it's 90 degrees in the summer. I got my tennis shoes on and shorts on.
But I mean, my thing is you look at a cup car, and they're one of the safest things in the world, and those guys are from head to toe wrapped. And I don't think we got to be that bad, but I definitely think there should be more safety, concerns, more safety.
Probably. I mean, you don't want to see anybody ever get hurt out there. I guess you're right, Brian.
Josh is talking about having to wear a neck roll.
Can we flag that tape? He just said I was right. Can we flag that?
Yeah,
I want to use that on the intro from now on.
Send him a message.
No,
Steve, take this down.
As far as a neck brace, though, I think a long time ago, neck braces, we weren't hitting hard enough. I mean, did you really need them for a lot of years? No, but I think nowadays, like when you go watch Blizzard Bash, I mean, I couldn't imagine not running with them, especially me. My neck I look like a rag doll out there.
Dude,
my helmet's double the weight of my head.
That's the best investment I ever made.
Yeah.
I'd never run one without one now.
But see, then I kind of struggle when I turn around. I do feel it kind of hang me up when I don't feel as comfortable in a car with one. I know that's stupid.
You'll get used to it.
And you're probably right. I've run them a couple times. We went to Minnesota. I had one on, and
there's all sorts of stuff going on Facebook with these free entries. We got Jason Butts on the phone. Quick, we do need to try and keep our schedule as close as we can with Chad Markley and then Justin Montgomery a little bit later on. But we did get Jason Butts here on the line just to kind of let him have a minute or two explain exactly what's going on. Basically, on the 31st of March at 9 o'clock, there's going to be 5 free entries, John.
That's correct. For whichever class you want to participate in, that entry will be good for whatever class you're running. If you already have entered, you'll get a pair of pit passes for the show that day, including additional to your already one that you get with your entry form that you've already sent in.
Not too bad. So when did that idea come about?
It's been in the works for a couple weeks. We've been trying to come up with different ideas to do something, and finally narrowed it down the last couple days, and figured we'd post it today, give guys a week, because the pre-entry ends next Monday night.
That's right.
Next Monday night. So we figured we'd do it, give people a week, as a little something to get some exposure, get some guys interested in the show, and get people talking.
Let me ask you this. You're drawing 5 names, you said?
That is correct.
Are you drawing one from each event? Because I know you got compacts and V8s in it. Are you picking one from each, or you're just randomly picking 5? And if I put my name in there 40 times, do I have more chances of winning?
No, it'll be each whoever comments on the Facebook post their names will go in the hat, and it's just random 5 people. So everybody that put in was for world class, and we draw all 5 world class. It'll be 5 world class cars. If it's 4 compacts and 1 economy or truck class, whatever it may be, those are the classes that they'll be eligible for to use those free entries for.
They're running trucks.
Yeah, there's going to be trucks out there. Yeah.
What is it? Is that stock trucks or modified trucks?
It's a combination.
Oh.
It's really the truck class is new to Cuba. We've never really done it before. So they're actually the Ohio rule.
Huh.
I don't know. It's
The low.
modified. It's not exactly stock.
Not exactly.
But it's.
Well, Ohio doesn't have stock.
Well, yeah, you're right. Well, no,
Yes.
I don't have the rules in front of me. I'm actually at a fire class right now, but
I'll have Brian read them off to me or something.
I can't think of it off the top of my head what the rules
Have
really
Vern
are
read
for
them
it. But
Yeah, we need to get the rules on them.
It'd be nice if you built a truck like Minnesota and whatnot there, huh?
I'll build a truck.
Dare you? Dare you?
it's 500 to win for the trucks, and we have I think we have 4 or 5 right now.
If you won with the truck, do you get a big check?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a big it is a big check.
Mm-hmm.
I already have. I think I didn't Photoshop your name on that one. It was the economy or something. Class one I photoshopped your name on and
Thank
sent it to you.
Made me feel good. Thank you.
If you win with the trucks, can you weld or run in the weld class too? Just something different.
No.
If you bring a car, you could.
Well, yeah, if you brought a car, yes.
You can't run your truck in there, though. I know what you're saying.
Why
That'd be
not?
awesome.
All right, you got to get back to class.
All right, guys.
All right, I wanted to let you know, get on there, jump on the Smash Empire Nationals Facebook page, comment on that. You'll get your name in the drawing, and there's going to be 5 free entries given away. If you already have your entry, you'll get a couple extra pit passes as well. So, Jason, just wanted to catch up with you, get back to class.
All right, thanks, guys.
See you later.
buddy.
Later.
That's it.
Yeah, bye.
All right, see ya. Bye.
I used to run trucks. Like, they used to have trucks around here, but you could run 4-wheel drive. And those were probably some of the funnest heats I ever had.
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta find a truck.
Dude, they were all, I know there's one, a 60s Ford. That,
I was gonna say
that you will love right now, because I was just looking at it, Ben, but I didn't have the
I think
cash.
there's still a 60s Ford at a farm. You spent a lot of time on 414.
Oh, that's rotted in half by now.
No, I
sure
know
you
where a
could
good
fix
one
it.
is. I know where a
Box
good
it
one
in. Chris, we need to get the rules for that.
I'll work on it. They're
Me-
in the
mess-
rules package.
Send me a message.
Trucks are so much fun to run. I mean, when I was in 4-wheel drive, man, you put that thing in gear, and I'm telling you, it snapped your neck back. I mean, it was awesome running on
Well,
things.
they've had trucks out there at the Keystone National, Steve, and they've also done it at the Brockton show too. They had full weld trucks at the Keystone Nationals and real stock trucks over at the Northeast Championship.
And
Yeah,
back.
they had a full weld trucks at Keystone Nationals for a couple years, and they kind of dwindled down a little bit. But at the Woodburger Show Northeast Championship, they've done a real good job with those. They run completely stock trucks. They allow you to use 4-wheel drive if you want to, and it makes for a pretty cool show. And I've seen guys hit back-to-back and drop rear drive shafts and then start driving around with just the front wheels.
Wait,
So it's kinda
show,
neat.
you can run 4-wheel drive?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
allow
Steve,
it for
I've
the
been looking
trucks.
for a place to run 4-wheel drive. Because everyone has kind of dwindled away to just letting you run one, either front or back drive shaft. So
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome, man.
So you can
Yeah,
run,
with the trucks they allow.
you run a Suburbans there?
Yeah. Yeah, Suburban's a truck.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Damn.
Ben, start buying some trucks. It'd be nasty if you built some trucks.
We were at the Kutztown Fair here back in 2012, I think is what it was, and there was a guy that went, Lonnie Beeler, he drives mid-80s Dodges, and he went back-to-back with an F-150, and you can't run 4-wheel drive. You can only put the rear drive shaft in. And he went back-to-back with his Ford, and it broke the drive shaft out, and the drive shaft went flying underneath the Ford that he hit when he went back-to-back with him like a torpedo. It went through the dirt, through the mud, and it just went flying across. That was pretty cool to see. On the topic of cool stuff to see, we got a chance to watch this guy drive a couple times, and now he's got an event coming up. Chad Markley, promoter of the Midwest Championship on the Bash for Cash Smash It Derby hotline. Welcome to the show, Chad.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We're doing okay. Wanted to have you introduce the event a little bit and tell us what you can. I understand that the Midwest Championship out there in Kansas is being moved up from a fall show to a spring show.
Yeah, the 2014 championship will technically be in May of 15. The date's not totally set, but we will move it from. We traditionally was in October. This will be our 5th year of the championship, and all the guys basically on the championship side, you have to qualify to be able to run in the show. So we were running it in October, and of course all the guys were used up all summer long, so it'll give them a little break over the winter time and get them a fresh start for the year. I think it'll just be a little bit better deal for everybody.
And there's a planning meeting scheduled for the second week of April this year where you're going to concrete up a date?
Correct, yeah. The fair board, I have it here in Abilene, Kansas, dead smack in the center of the U.S. here, so it's an easy drive in for all the drivers and everything. And the next fair board meeting, I meet with them in April, so we'll set the date solid then.
And is it true that the Drive for Five and Charlie Perrin's show coming up on the 7th of June are both going to be qualifiers for that?
They actually are, yeah. Hollywood called me and he wanted in, and I'll be darned if I didn't hang up the phone. And about 3 hours later, Charlie himself called me and wanted to do the same thing. So
that's awesome.
Nice.
It is more geared towards that type of build. I'm more of a traditional kind of guy, I guess. Maybe I've been in the sport too long, and I don't like to see in the direction it's going. So my rules really kind of fit into the Drive for Five, especially, and then I haven't really picked over Charlie's rules, but it's pretty close. We're a light modified build is what it is. You can have your protectors and things, but there's very definite black and white rules on what you can do with them and what they cannot do.
That's cool. I like that idea of doing a championship the following spring because really by the end of the year most of us are burnt out and you don't put as much effort into your championship car, and to start the year with a championship car I think would get more guys more motivated. Plus if you won it, what a great year to start the year. Well, a great way to start the year.
Yeah, I looked at it several ways. I mean, any time you put a show on that's not, at least in the Midwest, that's not truly involved with a county fair or really a neat venue or something that sets it apart from everything else, it's hard to put people in the stands. And in order to pay out the money we pay out and stuff, we got to have a pretty good fan base. And
sure.
And they're burned out from derby and racing, going to the lake, whatever everybody does all summer. They're as burned out as well as the drivers are. So I think it'll try to catch them coming out of the gate, and everybody will be happy.
Good point.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, I know like our local racing, they have their tours from April till September, and then they have like a month off or 3 weeks off to build the car to go to Syracuse with, which is our big show. That's a good idea to do with Derby. I mean, give you a few months break and.
But those guys all stay busy going to off the trail shows.
Yeah, well, that too.
No, it
is. It never ends. It never. When I started, 20 years ago? I mean, we derbied for 3 months in the summer, maybe 4 months, and the rest of the time we stripped cars or went and replenished the stockpile. And in today's world, if you want to go 12 months out of the year, it's pretty much nonstop.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're playing with that spring over there on the microphone. It's going through all the headsets.
Oh,
I know your headset's not working, but everybody else can hear it going.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like you're playing the harp over there.
I am. That's one of my many talents. My mistakes are.
And a little bit more about that championship. I was saying where it's a qualifying show, so that's kind of it's neat for your fairs and stuff to be able to give back. Basically, they pay the driver's entry fee. The driver has no entry fee at my show. The fairs or the promoters have already paid for it, so
that's cool.
It's basically a free entry fee.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, that really makes it a championship feel, makes the drivers feel special, that they're appreciated in coming. What's the farthest away that you're? I mean, Antigua, Wisconsin is quite a ways away from where you are. What's the farthest away that you're going to have a qualifier?
Well, those two will be the furthest away.
Yeah.
Right now, we have multiple shows in Nebraska, and of course, Kansas is pretty well loaded up. We're pretty well spread out through Missouri, and then Illinois. We have 4 or 5 up there. So we had a couple Illinois drivers last year. We had several Missouri, and we had a good group out in Nebraska that came down and really put a good show on for everybody.
Where's Justin Montgomery going to qualify from?
I taught him everything he knows, but I didn't teach him everything I know, so it probably depends on if we get hooked up in the wrong arena where he's going to get a qualify at.
Yeah. I mean, what's it mean for you two guys? Like, for you, Chad and Justin, for, you guys spent all this time looking up to a driver like Jimmy Johnson, that for him to take you under his wing the way that he did, and it got quiet. What happened?
Oh, I don't know.
He told me to ask you that, Chad.
I don't necessarily. Well, here's the true story. Jimmy needed a finisher on his team, not the guy that's going to get out there and just...
the closer. That's awesome. That's so cool. Oh, that's awesome.
He said that would be good for a laugh. I got a little nervous there when I got quiet. I was like, uh-oh. The wheels just fell off this one.
I'm trying to figure how serious we were on that.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. We all know that Jimmy looks up to you. He told us he needed a closer.
Yeah. Well, we put together a pretty good team. Unfortunately, we haven't won one of them shows yet, but we're... I don't think anybody wants to pick our number, and vice versa. There's multiple teams out there. We don't want to draw their name out of the hat either. So
yeah, there's some people that are out there that don't want to draw your number either.
Just about everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I hope. I mean, our team's got a lot of diversity. I mean, I know Chicken Justin Montgomery. He can probably drive a car with as beat up as anybody, and you've got to take him out physically. He's not going to fall down and let you take him out. He's going to take a beating and keep on going.
Well, Chad was pretty slippery himself at Razorback here a couple weeks back.
Oh yeah.
That was. I had just a little bit of bad luck. I don't know if you guys realized when I lost my steering, but I lost steering at about 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, it went away, and you did a good job. A lot of those guys out there with you didn't know that you had lost your steering the way you were driving.
Right.
No, that's the biggest thing. You don't let your competition know where you're weak.
No.
I mean, you ended up running down. I think you ended up finishing somewhere around 6th, and you ended up on the wrong end of the Bobby Whitaker equation. But you had a great run out there. Yeah.
I mean, Bobby's a good driver and all. And, we have a lot of respect for each other. I mean, at least I do for him. I think it's both ways. We're not like I say, we don't talk like I do with some of the other drivers, but we've always gave each other enough respect inside the arena itself. So,
and again, when it's down to 5, 6, 7, 8 cars, I mean, we all got to hit each other, So eventually, you're gonna take shots from each other. But you did drive a great race there, especially without steering.
Yeah. To
get down that deep against those kind of guys, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It wasn't much fun, but on the other hand, you think, well, I did pretty good for no steering for that long.
Definitely. Now, if you would have had steering, do you think things would have been a little bit different? Do you think you could have been there at the end?
Well, I think so. I mean, I had enough car. I mean, my front end's still sticking out there pretty nice, and to win it is a different deal, but to make the top 5,
sure.
I think I should have been there.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, that's impressive. I mean, you watch guys like Chad or, like Bobby Brockway at Metal Mayhem, to get to a feature is an accomplishment.
Yep.
But then to make it that far down in with no steering, I mean, that's just amazing.
Again, that's what separates great drivers is those little things like when they're stressing out in the middle of a derby and they still get down deep. That's what separates good drivers.
Then you got Whitaker in the mix on 3 wheels, literally.
I know.
Yeah.
That derby was awesome.
And in that type of track, I mean, that type of track, it was a sandy, milly type of track. But they were still getting, they weren't burying themselves a lot. But boy, when we seen him go to 3 wheels, I'm like, oh no,
I couldn't believe how
he's
long
done.
he went.
And he just kept turning and burning, and it was awesome.
20 minutes at least.
Yeah.
Yep. Josh brought up a great point. When you realize that you've lost your steering, what happens to you mentally? I mean, do you panic out there? Is it a case where you think, oh man, now I gotta do this? Do you overreact, or is it one of those things where you've been doing this long enough to where it doesn't really bother you? It's just part of the game.
I don't overreact. I can almost fall asleep in a derby car in the middle arena. I mean, some people get amped up and all this, and it does I'm so comfortable inside the car. It does the opposite to me. When I lost steering, I knew. I mean, I've been in that situation 100 times, so I knew my goal then was probably not to try to make it down as far as I could. It wasn't. I couldn't go pick a fight with anybody because I couldn't react as quick as I needed to and do things I needed to do to get rid of whoever we was going to start playing with.
Now, I seen at one point, I think Skinny was after you a little bit to get hit, and at least that group there in the middle of the track. Do you start getting nervous that they're going to black flag you, or do you just keep your pace? Because, I see a lot of times people struggle with that when someone's flagging them and after them, all of a sudden they pick the pace up when maybe sometimes you just keep your same pace. What was your thought there when they were chasing you down?
In the heat or in the feature?
In the feature.
Either one for that matter, because the heat was pretty interesting too.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Well, people can say what they want about my driving style or whatever. I will do what the refs let me get away with, and that's what the better drivers do. If everybody's willing to turn it up, I'm willing to play the game too. I used to not get too nervous, but I've had too many bad deals that I just got a little bit of mark on me, and I need to, make sure some bad call or something doesn't happen. So I turn it up, and my problem is if they actually put the watch on me and let me drive and let me pick my shots and drive through people when I'm going to hit them, I usually don't have any trouble. I ran Mayhem for I don't know how many ever years, drove my style up there, got a lot of respect from people, and drove through people and put a show on when I needed to, and played the game with the rest of the guys when I needed to, and always had good rapport with the officials and everybody. And I asked them, I said, do I need to turn it up? Well, am I looking that bad out there? No, you're fine, or yes, maybe you should. And I respect some officials. Of course, I'm on both sides of the fence there, so
sure.
You got to respect the guys that are putting a show on, or else if you don't, you just don't need to be there. You need poor sportsmanship and all that. That needs to go away.
Absolutely.
Bringing it back to the Midwest Championship, will you actually run in that event, or will you stay out of the car for that?
I would love to be able to drive 5 minutes to a track and run against the best drivers in the Midwest, but no, I've got too much on my plate, and it would not look right if some reason I'd get lucky and getting the money. So
right.
I concentrate on the inspection, and I'm the head official on the track, and that's the way we're going to keep it. As much as I would love to run in it, it's a show I'm trying to build up and trying to keep the grassroots going, not like we see at the Mayhem or the Razorback or Blizzard Bash. I'm looking out for more of you don't have to have the high dollar 40 spline rear end. I've got rear end rules that take care of that, so the average, the guy that runs 1 or 2, 3 times a year, county fair type guy that can drive, but he'd either don't want to commit that much money to the sport, or don't have the funds that he feels like he can come compete at my show. So that's what it's all about, and that's what I'm more about at my show.
And those shows are definitely needed.
Absolutely.
Definitely need those.
Yeah, they are. And I'll run, I'll run a hard car, I'll run a soft car. I just, it's in my blood, and I can't get it out of there for some reason. So
we feel your pain.
Steve Bucknam with SB Motorsports Announcing is hanging out in the Keystone Nationals live chat presented by Derby Parts. We got any questions for Chad in the live chat?
No questions for Chad right now, but we do have about 18 people in the chat room right now.
Cool.
And they're kind of going back and forth talking about all kinds of various shows. My dad actually made a comment as Chad was talking, saying that he likes the sound of this guy. So, you got the old man's approval as far as that went.
Nice.
Hey, fans are hard to find for me sometimes, so I'll take anybody that's willing to step up to the plate.
That's funny.
Now, Chad, when it gets to be Derby Day and you're head official on the track, how tough do you get with the other drivers as far as picking their shots? And I mean, do you give them a little more slack? As far as I can see how he's driving and I see what his idea is, or are you pretty hard on the clock as far as hitting, or how do you handle that going from a successful driver to being the promoter? I mean, is it possible to wear both hats and do it equally and fairly, or how do you do it?
I've been probably on the wrong end of the equation as a driver more than I'd like to admit, and probably shouldn't have been a few calls. I'll say that that was right, and I'll shake their hands if they're wrong. I'm not going to be a poor sport about it. Most of the drivers that come to my show, I feel like they have respect for my officials and myself. So if we tell them you need to do something or you need to turn it up, they will listen. I mean, they give our people the most respect. I appreciate that. But as far as being fair, I try to take any type of judgment out of the arena itself. Mm-hmm. If it's a minute to hit, we can't have a clock on every car, every move. But if you see somebody, we've got a signal to the driver. If we start holding the stopwatch up to them, that means we're watching them. And as soon as they make a hit, we click the watch. And if that minute's up and they're in mid-stroke, I'm sorry. I mean, you've got to be able to put a show on for the crowd. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. I mean, I appreciate the guy driving to win, but on the other hand, he needs to take his shot and drive through somebody and make it a good show also.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree. Yep.
And it's tough and you got to get control of your arena from the word go. It's tough to do, but with the right group of drivers, and it gets easier every year because everybody knows how it's going to be.
Well, I think respect has a lot to do with that. I mean, some of these derbies, the inspectors don't have respect before the cars even show up to the track, and then they just have a long day from there on out. I mean, I think if you get respect from the bat, everyone understands what your game plan is. People just follow right along. I think it's really important.
Before
go ahead.
I just wanted to make sure before everybody forgets, we got Justin Montgomery coming up here right around 6:35. I understand that there's some changing of the seats with Team Kansas. Is there anything you might be able to shed some light on who that fourth member might be?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's official, so I guess if anybody really cares, I could.
I know we're interested.
Well, Jimmy said you would say it. Go ahead. Go on.
One of you guys. He just hadn't figured out which one.
Oh, I wish.
Oh, yeah.
No, me. Please, me.
Oh, Josh, you're already in it. Sorry.
I'll switch teams. No, I'm joking.
Well, it's going to be a gentleman from Kansas, I can tell you that much. And he's probably one of the top drivers in the eastern part of the state easily, if not the whole state.
Mm-hmm. And?
He's been on another team, and things are switching.
And are you going to tell us who it is or not? We got to wait?
Well, I'll tell you. It's Mr. Nick Erlacher.
No.
Just step that team up if it was possible.
Oh, wow.
That team was nasty. That team is.
Yeah.
They were impressive, man.
Better not drive that team.
He's going to start with the best of them, and I don't think he has any weakness in his belt either.
That's an awesome addition for your crew. So you've got Jimmy, Chad, Justin, and Nick Erlacher now.
But Josh, wasn't it last week after the show you said you were hoping to draw Team Kansas first round, At Bash?
So I can go home early. I mean,
He wants DMP.
No.
You told me you were out there knocking guys out of their seat, like showing them how it was done East Coast
We all know
style.
I don't talk like that.
I'm just,
I think that's an excellent addition, and it's
gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch as that comes to pass. We got Steve over here.
Steve's got his hand
Go
up.
ahead, Steve. I lose you, Steve.
You're frozen.
He's frozen.
Yep.
Sorry, Steve.
A little frozen.
How about now?
There you go. Go ahead.
Chat, the last question from the chat room.
Yeah.
Chat user Chicken wants to know about your rule about Mad Dogs transferring to the feature.
Well, it's a unique deal. I've watched other promoters try to come up with all the way through, and I just had to do something to give the guys an event, go out there and put a show on for you. So we come up with a point system for them. Basically, if they get out there and get busy in the heat, we start a stopwatch at the beginning of the heat, 10 minutes. If they're busy within 10 minutes and score 20 points on the Mad Dog, or we ended up calling it the Seek and Destroy driver, because I'm not promoting the Darwin Award for the Derby driver that goes out and takes the Hail Mary and puts his bumper over his carburetor and thinks he did something, because anybody can do that. I mean, let's get serious. Anybody can take a car and take one shot and get your bumper over the freaking hood. I mean, that's just how it is. So I'm not promoting that part of it. I'm promoting the driver that is willing to go out there, and when he takes a shot, he's making a kill shot, and he's wanting to eliminate the competition.
And running it hard.
Seek and Destroy.
Pretty good song by that name. I like that.
Is there any place that anybody can find information about the Midwest Championship, either Facebook, or if you got a website where they can learn more?
Yeah, it's cdda.com.
Very good.
Or Midwest Championship. And also, I mean, we're still taking any fair shows, any drivers that know their shows, if they're interested, get a hold of me, or get a hold of me through the website, or email me, and we can get their shows in as qualifiers. If there's any of those type of drivers that would find in the show,
Broome County,
get their level.
I was just thinking.
Can my local fair? This is my local fair. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I might know somebody.
Yeah. Keystone Nationals would be a good one to make get on the qualifier list.
That's actually a good one.
Keystone National.
Yeah,
Steve was just saying Keystone National would be a real good one.
Bo, get on that.
Hartford.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, Chad. I'll have to catch up with you. We got some that need to be qualifiers out here. We got to figure out what we got to do.
I'd like to qualify for a Midwest Championship. That'd be awesome.
It's not a huge. It's basically your fair border promoter to get your top three and your Mad Dog in. It's a $200 flat fee. If they want to go to the super qualifier, which gets your top five and your two overall heavy hitters or Mad Dog, however you want to look at them, that's a flat $400 fee, and your promoter or your fair board pays that. I've even had local drivers that their local fair wouldn't give up the $200, which is very seldom. They just pooled the money together themselves and sent the information in, and we got them on board. And
this is doable.
Okay, I'll give you $200. Let's hand you $200.
This is doable.
So if we pull up $400, we can take 5 cars.
Let's do
That'd be
it.
awesome.
Yeah, but you still got to get into that top 5.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, for the only 5 guys there, we're golden.
We'll make our own derby.
You can't put on your own derby with 5 cars.
No, there's definitely some big events around here that work for.
That's actually cool.
We're gonna be in touch about that. Make sure you jump online, check out the Midwest Championship. Chad Markley, I appreciate you spending some time with us tonight, and congratulations on the addition to Team Kansas. We wish you the best going forward, and keep in touch as more develops with the Midwest Championship show. Yeah,
we will. We look forward to maybe getting you guys out here, and then we'll talk later about that. And I asked Justin, the chicken man there, about the championship. He's ran it every year I've had it, and I think he was last year's champion. So
nice.
We'll We'll get him online here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, and it's a great mix. I've had, it's old iron, new iron won it this year, and it's usually the top 10 is about a 50-50 mix of between Vicks and old iron. So, and it's a sedan-only show on top of that.
Nice.
Cool. Very cool. Check it out, Midwest Championship 2015 is when that's going to be held. It's going to be this year's championship held next May. They're working on the date. Should be set next month following the meeting. Chad, thanks a lot.
Okay, guys, have a good one.
Take care.
Have a good one.
Bye now.
That would be cool.
That's sweet.
Dude, I hope to God I don't pull Team Kansas. I hope to God I don't pull Team Kansas. Oh, man. Dude, their cars were so nasty last year. I mean, took a beating for hours, it seemed like, It stayed straight.
Literally.
No, seriously.
Literally.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
No.
We'll be getting Justin Montgomery on the phone here, but first check these guys out. Total Destruction Demo Productions is primed for an explosive 2014. Based out of Trumansburg, Steve Manshaki and Lead Inspector Ben Haas have a busy summer with 4 epic events over 7 nights scheduled all over New York State. The schedule starts with the Spring Fling in Morris, New York, June 14th. Total Destruction then hosts 2 nights of carnage at the Ontario County Fair in Canandaigua, New York, July 22nd and 26th. Then the grueling Double Down follows with the Otsego County Fair in Morris planned for July 31st and August 3rd, and the Franklin County Fair in Malone set for August 2nd and 4th. For more details, visit www.totaldestructiondemo.com or call 607-769-6820. What better way to spend Memorial Day than seeing a bunch of cars being smashed? Spend the holiday with Smash It Demolition Derbies as they again host the Bash for Cash at the Fayette County Fairgrounds in Washington Courthouse, Ohio. Planned for May 24th and 25th, the card is headlined by the co-main event, the 11,000 to win DerbyParts.com 80s and newer class, and the DerbyTees.com 10,000 to win Turn Back the Clock division. Other classes include full-size trucks, U-Compact, street stocks, and the 80s and newer wire-up division. Gates open daily at 10 a.m. with action to follow at 4. For more information and details, visit the online home of Bash for Cash at www.smashitderby.com. The new rules are just right. Set aside July 19th for the reinvented Keystone Nationals. Again this summer, Bo Lockwood will host the Keystone Nationals at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds in Brookville, Pennsylvania. A revamped rulebook will help welcome an all-star field as the limited well division takes center stage in a feature paying $5,000 to win. Pre-entries for the stock division are already full. For more details, join the Keystone Nationals community online at www.facebook.com/Keystone Nationals. Once again, the Keystone Nationals, July 19th, 2014 at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds, Brookville, Pennsylvania.
I'd love to start that, Ben.
What are you guys doing over there? What are you conspiring?
No, we're talking about, we're going to start a derby. We're going to call it the Josh Decker 500.
What are you doing?
We're talking about something.
You guys.
I want to get to that Midwest show is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Well, one of the guys that can tell you a little bit more about it, Justin Montgomery, defending champion of the Midwest Championship, got a busy season planned with Team Kansas. Justin's been watching along at home and now joining us here on the line. Justin, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hello. Chad's wrong about that. I didn't win it last year. I got second.
Oh, okay.
Warren Funk won it in an old iron. He just is confused. He's getting old.
I got to tell you, by the way, this was one of the oddest booking calls that I've ever made this morning. I forgot to get a hold of Justin through the weekend. We traded messages on Facebook. I forgot to get a hold of him. I called him this morning, and he calls me back, and I said, well, you want to be on the show? He goes, yeah, well, you caught me. I'm in jail. Oh. And I said, you're in jail? He goes, yeah, I'm working in a jail. And I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, I'm usually an HVAC tech, but since this weather's been kind of nice around here, we've been slow, so they put me helping the plumbers. So I've been digging with them, replacing some sewer line in the jail. So it was pretty funny because I was in jail when I went to get my phone. I'm like, that ought to sound pretty good for him.
That was. I was completely taken aback by that. I was like, so how are you answering your cell phone? They got call forwarding?
My one call.
Yeah, your one call.
One call, and his was the crash course. Good for him.
Yeah.
So, how'd you get the nickname Chicken Man?
Well, I knew that was going to come up. Well, I've been called that forever. I'm not very fond of snakes at all, so, like, walking through any tall grass or anything, like, Chad's not either, but I'm a lot probably worse than he is.
There's no shame in this, by the way.
My dad's called me Chicken forever just because I'll see him on TV and jump and stuff like that, and it kind of stuck, and everyone started calling me that, so I kind of got to the point where,
people introduce me, hey, this is Justin Montgomery, and they'll be like, who? And I'm like, chicken. Oh, okay. So I just, thought, well, I'll just go with it.
That same thing happens to Josh, only instead of calling him chicken, they call him real deal.
Yeah, right. You call me that.
Yeah.
Nobody else calls me that, just you guys.
I mean, how excited are you for you this summer? I mean, you've got a pretty busy schedule mapped out, and then you got the announcement of Nick Erlacher joining your team.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I just hope I can keep up because, anyways, I'll probably run that Razorback car that I ran. We'll probably run it again. I'm trying to talk to my guy that helps out and does a lot of the work for me, Jeremiah Faulkner, into running it somewhere because he's helped me with the last 2 cars, and hadn't ran, so I feel kind of bad. So I want him to go run it because it's his motor and rear end in the thing. So
nice.
Other than that, I'll probably run some fair shows around here and then Blizzard Bash. So kind of take it a little bit easier this summer just so we can get some stuff caught back up. But really kind of concentrate on Blizzard Bash. Just because that show's becoming so big and I want to make sure all our ducks are in a row. So
that's awesome.
Where are you going to put your emphasis on in terms of trying to qualify for the Midwest Championship?
Well, actually, our hometown Salina here has always been a qualifier, and that's one kind of advantage that I have because around here, a lot of the fair boards are on board, so I can drive. Pretty much. There's several different shows here in Kansas that are qualifiers, so usually I want to run my hometown show just because, like, as you guys know, that's where all your friends are, your family, like people that help support you, so you always want them to be able to see you without having to drive forever to watch, so we always try to do that. So hopefully can get qualified there this year. Again, that's where I've usually gotten qualified there, Abilene. So I want to get Jeremiah qualified too. And that's one good thing, because I was kind of harping on Chad to have it in the spring too, because, me and Jeremiah, we both build together, and it's hard for us, the schedule that he had to get 2 cars done, so it was never possible for both of us to run. So he's always been nice enough just to help me, let me run, and, he's helping the pits and everything like that, and help build the car. But now that it's going to be in the spring, if we both get qualified, we should both be able to run. So I think that's what I'm really looking forward to, because he deserves that. So
can I ask a question about Razorback?
Go ahead.
Well, when you were down there, man, in your heat, just from watching, it kind of seemed like you were getting picked on from the beginning. Did you feel that way? Did you know any of those guys out there, and did you feel like they were kind of going after you first?
Well, I understand how all that works. They were probably from Illinois, and, yeah, I definitely felt like that in the car. That's why, but, what can you do? I just was trying to protect and use my doors and, get through the heat, and which, I don't hold anything against them guys, because it'd be the same if I'm with the whole group of people that I know, and, like, there's odd guys out, you hate to do it, but that's how the politics work at them big shows,
You were working to get through that heat, man. You were driving really well. You were protecting really well, but man, they really were working on you. They worked on the back of you for a while.
Yeah, and that's when I think that Luke Bowman, he got me in that corner and dropped it before I got that back end rolled up. So I knew that after that, like piranhas. So my whole deal was try to go the old Western Kansas circle style, just try to drive and not let him get a shot there, and then, drive forward. But what actually happened is kind of weird. I ran Jeremiah's ran, and it actually broke the spool. I thought it broke an axle or something like that, but the spool broke on it, so we didn't really have any parts or anything to fix that, so it's kind of done at that point. But, I'd always wanted to run that show, and, they got all the new inspectors and everything, and, they're sticking to their word, so, that's good, and I think they'll come out ahead if they stay as strict as they were, because they were pretty strict about everything, and, if they stay like that, that's going to be fine, which I think they will, so, because I think, a lot of people were kind of afraid. That's what they kept telling me. That's the first show I ran for them. And, well, we're here to straighten out the rules. I'm like, well, I wish I would have, not that I overbuilt anything, but we just had questions on some stuff. And we had to change them. We changed them to run. But, we drove, 9-10 hours to do it, so we didn't just want to load up, because we end up, like the cross member rule, they had that your cross member has to be 2 inches from any braces or anything like that. I think Tori had just put something on his Facebook to clarify that for Spring Explosion. Well, we had ours all built and everything, how we thought would be fine. We get up there and have to change it. So we ended up taking one of our fender tools that we have and having to cut it apart. And Jeremiah laid underneath my car pretty much till I went for the heat, building the new cross member for it. And so we were pretty stressed with the whole deal. But, that's what they got to do, to clean up that show, I'd imagine. That's what they said, and that's what they're doing. So,
Chad was on a little bit ago talking about how he's trying to find a middle of the road style build, whereas the show that you were just at was a little bit heavier out there in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and then Blizzard Bash is even more extreme yet. Where do you fall in terms of your build preference? What do you like to do in terms of if you had an ideal set of rules? What did you want to do?
Well, I love Chad's rules, but it's just because that's what I've built to. That's what our shows have been around here. So of course you're going to love what you've actually built to. I love Chad's rules because the people that do have the big protectors can still run, but in his rules, like let's say you have to have an 1.5-inch gap from the firewall to your distributor protector. They're really strict on that. So, and then your dash bars are going to be so far away from your firewall. So even if you have that distributor protector, the big ones that people are using as braces and everything, it's still going to bend the car, but it's still going to, protect your distributor. So
right, how it's supposed to be.
His rules are made to bend, but he's not, the guy that has the 3/8 distributor protector, he can still run. That's what mine is that I actually run at the championship shows. I don't even run a tranny brace or anything like that there. And, but we've been building cars, that we know we're going to bend, so I think that's why we've been successful, because like Chad was kind of saying on there, we've ran some cars that are just completely a ball of metal, and they still move, and that's what we're good at. That's why we've kind of been successful, because, we concentrate on that. We don't want anything major drivetrain-wise to break and take us out. I'd rather it bend and, give
sure,
and still move. But
like the old days.
Like the old days.
Yeah.
What are the old days, Josh?
I don't know.
What are the old days? Tell me.
I miss them.
89?
89, yeah.
89 when Iron Maiden was a derby car the first time?
I know. How cool was that?
I had a thought there, and it just went by the wayside. So in terms of the heavier build stuff, what do you prefer? Would you rather go the direction of the Crown Vics, or would you rather stick with the old iron? Where's your preference lie then? Seeing as how those middle of the road rules is where your wheelhouse is.
Yeah, and that's where, because it's kind of hard, because like I said, it's a lighter setup for this championship derby, and then we go from one simpler show like that to having to build an extreme car for the Blizzard Bash. So that's where Jeremiah's kind of came in, and he's a perfectionist, at building stuff. And I have some of the ideas, but I'll tell him this idea, well, I'm thinking about doing this, and well, why don't you just do it this way? Oh, yeah, duh. And he'll build it. He builds most of the stuff we run for Blizzard Bash. So without him, I wouldn't be able to run them extreme shows like that, which I like the way that Sam's doing all that. I like that he's getting the big sponsors.
Yeah.
And I think that show's really going to take off.
Oh, yeah.
It already has.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I also like Chad's style show where it's able to get the county fair guys still in there. Them county fair guys, they're still able to go to that show and feel important, and it is an accomplishment. That I think the features there, and they're not just going crazy, just you know, everyone bonsai wasting their cars. Everyone's driving smart because they're all the top finishers around the state, around, you know, multiple states now. So the feature, I think, usually lasts an hour, and I think maybe 30 to 45 minutes is the last couple that I've been in.
Wow.
So it's pretty nerve-wracking, but, you know, I think he's got the right idea, but, you know, it's just hard because, you know, the people that have the equipment don't want to step back down and not run it once they buy it. So,
well, we're gonna figure out a way to get a couple qualifiers out here, so maybe we can send some guys from New York and Pennsylvania, maybe Massachusetts, Vermont out your way, and convince them to tow all the way to Kansas for the Midwest Championship next May.
That would be
There
awesome.
you go.
That kind of would be
Yeah.
cool.
That would be awesome.
yeah, I mean, they would really like the show because, I mean, it's fair. And Chad, you know, like, I'm not bashing Razorback Rumble or anything like that, but whereas Chad gets out in the arena, being your driver and being, you know, teams drove against, he'll get out in the arena if he sees people that are outnumbered and make sure that, you know, that they lay off, you know, that guy and hit their buddy. You know, even if, you know, of course you're going to hit their buddy in the doors, but that's fine. At least, you know, they're not just letting people completely team drive.
Right.
So you have a fair chance even if you do come from out of state and say you don't know anyone. You mean you're going to get a fair shot. So that's another thing that's good about that show. So.
Well, Ben's wheels are already turning over there. He's sitting over there. He's just giggling to himself about the chance of running out there. He's already got all sorts of stuff planned.
And he didn't finish telling about that Mad Dog deal. I posted that question on there, and what it is, like, he'll stop it at 10 minutes, and then they go straight to the feature. Like, okay, like, a lot of them heats will last, you know, 30 minutes or more. So after that 10 minutes or whatever he was saying, that car goes out just the condition they are, and they can start getting ready for the feature. So it really pays off to, you know,
Drive aggressive.
hit hard.
Right.
So that's another, you know, thing that's pretty good about that show.
That is pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like that stuff because there are guys that can drive aggressive.
And make it last.
Absolutely right. Right. So if, you know, I mean, it keeps guys being aggressive, but it gives guys that are like, you know, I can drive that style. Get out there and drive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you think about it. The guy that won Winter Slam, I mean, if he
Driving
would've-
hard the whole time.
Yeah, drive hard the whole time, and then
Zacharias.
he goes in and fixes a little bit the trial with his car, and he's ready for a feature.
Absolutely
Not even Zacharias, Rosno.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Rosno,
He would have been through too.
Oh
real quick.
God, yeah.
Absolutely.
Rasta would have been there quickly.
you know, he definitely hit the 10-minute mark, you know.
Along the 10 grand mark on the RPMs.
That's a cool rule, actually.
Yeah,
I like that
that's-
rule.
That's very neat.
I think he's definitely hitting the nail on the head with that show.
We got your back, Steve, by the way.
You know, I'm kind of like everyone else. I like to drive hard, but I also like to win, you know, and I like, you know, so it's pretty much if people come after me, I'll go after them just as hard, you know, so, but it's also kind of a driving show because there's so many quality drivers in it. I mean, like Arden Jennings, Derek Funk, you know, all these top drivers from around Kansas.
Yep.
And they're always there at the end, so it's a dogfight like every time, and it, you know, it's just such a tough show. But you know, and anyone can place, you know, is what's kind of cool about it. And I think he pays down pretty good. I mean, he's not up around like, of course, the Razorback Rumble ain't that pay, but he pays down so many spots, and his trophies are awesome. I mean, they're like big cups. You can see it on my Facebook or whatever, like the trophies, and he spends a lot of time in that and pays down a ton of trophies because, you know, it's a big deal for some of them guys to, you know, get that. And that's what I kind of told him, that guy that might get 10th, you know, if he has something to show for it, you know, proud to show his kids, he's going to come back because, you know, that gives him motivation.
Yeah, enjoyed the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Cool.
which, you know, like I said, but I do like where Sam's going with the Blizzard Bash because I know that he's trying to get it, just, you know, keep moving along with it. And one thing I've noticed with it is I have a lot of racer friends that, you know, that have actually got into derbying and following it, everything like that, just because they cannot believe the cars when they come over there and look at one of our cars, I mean, they about, crapped themselves thinking, holy crap, there's more money in this car than my race car, IMCA modified. And so I think, it's catching a lot of people's eye on that side of it. So I guess I'm just undecided which way to go. I like both. So.
Well, the nice thing is you don't have to pick. I mean, there's no one telling you got to be a modified driver, you got to be a stock driver. Hey, you like running stock shows all year, and at the end of the year going Blizzard Bash, there's nothing wrong with that. No.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Sam is like such in a great area with Blizzard Bash. It's like the sky's the limit, really, and he's kind of got that vision, which is pretty awesome. But on the backside of it, you can go to county fairs if you want.
Yeah, and like the one thing about the Blizzard Bash, that facility is so awesome. I mean, it gives you goosebumps driving into that arena every year, and just everything about it. There's not a show like it out there. It's just so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And Justin, the website again was KDDA.
The
website to find out.
Midwest Championship Derby.
Yep.
I think there's a Facebook page about it. If anyone has any questions, they can hit me up, because Chad's not very computer literate, obviously. So, but there's some videos of it. Don't make fun of my driving, but if you just look up Chicken Y2K on YouTube, my mom does all my videos, and I think she has like highlight videos and does a lot of the Midwest Championship stuff. So
cool.
If you want to kind of see how the show runs and everything, you can look on there. You can probably even just type in Midwest Championship, because I think there's a couple other guys around here that video it. So
cool.
Excellent. Well, Justin, be sure to keep in touch, as things progress, and let us know what you're up to. But we're just about out of time here, so we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us tonight.
All right, thanks. You guys have a good night.
Thanks, Justin. We'll see you later. I know we got more news that we got to get to here before we go. Steve's got some updates from the Northeast Championship. There's some date changes going on up there.
Yes, there's in the dates for the North Championship in Brockton, Mass. The correct dates for the show now are June 28th and 29th, as well as July 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're no longer running the championship on Sunday the 6th. The championship is now Saturday the 5th. That was a change from the fairs side of things. We didn't have any control in that, so we apologize if it messed anybody up. We hope it helps you to be able to come out and get home early on a Sunday anyway. Also, we want you to know that the first weekend, the 28th and 29th, you can run any year car to qualify with. They're all also having truck heats. You can run stock trucks with four-wheel drive. And each night of the championship, all 5 days, they're running a redneck racing event as well, which will qualify a driver for the championship.
I'm sorry, so Steve, you broke up there.
They're running redneck racing.
So that is happening on the nights out there?
Yeah,
okay.
That is going to happen, and that does qualify one driver to the championship on Saturday, it'd be 6th. 5th? 5th. There it is.
Gotcha. With you.
Yep. And then, so which night is the preliminary feature going to be? Is that going to be Friday or is it going to be Thursday?
Thursday.
It is going to be Thursday. Is going to be the preliminary feature. Is that going to pay $1,000 to win again this year?
It is. Yeah, $1,000 to win. Heats and a feature on Thursday night, and then Friday will be just a regular qualifying night.
Okay. And then
we purposely did that for the New York guys coming in, so that if they wanted to come for 2 nights, that they could run Friday and Saturday.
Cool. That cover all your bases?
But I liked it when I was on Sunday more, because we could run Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, we don't have a choice in that.
No, I know, Steve. It's not you guys at all. Definitely.
We gotta play one more quick ad, and
new name, new promoters, new format. The annual Spring Derby, hosted at Fireman's Park in Cuba each June, was given a facelift this offseason, and the 3,500 to win Limited World Championship is now known as the Smashed Empire Nationals. The event is set for June 7th, 2014. The event will be directed again by Jason Butts, with rule enforcement and inspection in the hands of Jeremy Hayduke and Derby Dog Productions.
The limited weld and 1200 to win economy divisions will go back to a heats and feature format. The compact one and done will pay 1200 to win, and the card includes truck and the 1100 to win compact team border war. General admission for adults and children over 8 years is $10. Kids age 7 and under are $5.
Pit passes are $25.
Coolers can set up for $100. Admission gates open at 11 a.m. Pit gates open at 9. Inspection closes at 12:30, and action begins at 3. Be sure to go on Facebook and like the Smashed Empire Nationals, www.facebook.com/Smashed Empire Nationals, and check back for announcements and updates. And we also want to make one more quick mention of a friend of the show, Mike Ashman's got a buddy that's doing a show up in at the Derbies in Litchfield, Minnesota, Meeker County Fair. They have 4 Derbies. The first one of the year is going to be the 21st. Starts at 7. 7 classes up there. Wow. It's going to be a busy night. They got.
I thought they couldn't find cars up there.
Yeah, I know, right? Compacts, 108 inches or lower. The Mighty Minis, 80 chain stock, 80s newer. Weld, old iron, half-ton trucks, welded, 3/4 to 1-ton trucks, welded, and they get 60 to 80 entries up there. That's June 21st. He asked if we might be able to find some time to squeeze some stuff in for him.
Jesse Keel.
Yep. And where do we know him from?
Performance Around.
That's the place.
Man.
I would love to go out there and watch those trucks run on dry ice.
Hell yeah.
That has got to be just nasty.
Northern Minnesota trucks.
You know, Blizzard Bash has got to get trucks in there. Like, they didn't have...
Give it time.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're coming.
Sam, you listening? Get some trucks in there.
Hey, you're Josh Decker. I'm sure if you ask for it, it'll probably happen.
Well, I just asked for it.
Wow, them trucks will be ramping the barriers like freaking off-road.
That is true. Jumping them things.
Steve, we look pretty good in the chat room?
You're frozen.
Yes, everybody's talking about a bunch of different shows. Again, I don't know what to do.
What? Don't worry about that. I just wondered what they were talking about. That's all.
No, everyone's talking about Woodburger shows. They're also talking about this Kansas show that Chad was talking about, saying that they'd like to get something close to them as a qualifier because a few guys out here would drive to Kansas to go compete. So people are pretty excited about it.
Cool. Well,
awesome. Isn't that what this show's about? Is like bringing. How cool would it be if someone from our area went to the Midwest? I mean, that'd be awesome.
We're hoping to keep bringing people together. That's going to do it for this edition. Once again, we are plumb out of time. Episode 26 is in the books. We're going to be back here next week. Rick Eglehart's going to be here, and along with Ben Haust, and we're going to be talking about 03 Newers and some Imperials. So we'll be seeing everybody then. Thanks for watching. Beep, 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 beep.